I'm actually a third generation native.
All right.
My father was
Impressive.
born here and my grandparents were born here.
Impressive. I'm curious, where does your love for gummy bears come from?
Gummy bears?
Yes.
Uh, I do really love gummy bears. I don't know where it comes from. I used to work at Cold Stones when I was 14. It was the first job that I
Oh,
got.
okay.
Everyone would take ice cream home at the end of the day, and I would take like sacks of gummy bears. I love
Okay. All right.
it.
And would you sing when it would people either tipped or it was their birthday? You would have to sing at Cold Stone, right?
This is the tip song. It's not very long. That was
All
that was mine. That was my go-to.
right. All right. I love it. I love it. So you also tell us about the time you were a touring professional dancer. What style of dance did you specialize in and prefer to dance?
Yeah. So the company that I was with for the longest time, I was Versatile Dance Company for 10 years, and they're a hip hop dance company. So we did a lot of like hip hop history and foundation and kind of like teaching all of that through our performances. So I was with them for the longest. So I'd say that's probably where my strengths are and what I love to do. But I was also in a urban Latin dance theater company where we did political art through salsa, and then I had a company that I co-directed that was more contemporary, site-specific type of modern dance work.
And
So a little bit of everything.
a
Yeah.
little bit of both. And who would be some of the hip hop artists and songs that you would love to dance to?
Well, I'm like a 90s baby. So personally, I love all 90s. Actually really like enjoy dancing to R&B.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the stuff that we did, because it was hip hop history, was a lot on like the funk style. So dancing to a lot of like 70s music, a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown. Really enjoyed that. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, if you want to talk about music, I'll be on this podcast for like the next just going over that.
For sure, for sure. Cool, cool. So, if you were going to summarize yourself in 30 seconds or less, how would you summarize Maya?
um, I'm a LA native, born to Brazilian parents, and that informs a huge part of who I am as a person. I'm very much culturally connected to being from Brazil and being from Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm a dancer, artist, and a business owner.
All right. All right. We have live audience joining us. So hello to Justin out there. Daytime. What's up? Feel free to, if you want to ask Maya a question, drop one in the comments. We have an interactive show. In your opinion, what's important for creative professionals such as yourself and myself to succeed in today's business environment?
Um, I think definitely a lot of resilience and a lot of dedication. I think what we've learned, particularly in this period of time, is that planning is very important, but you can't plan for everything. So you need to be flexible. You need to be able to pivot. You need to really just kind of take in every moment and be as creative as possible. I mean, we have a little bit of an upper hand on that, but
Right.
I
All
think
right. And okay. And what is your definition of resilience?
resilience is when some like things are hard and you don't let it get you down. Not looking at something as a failure, but looking at it as a lesson and then pushing forward from there. I think that's what resilience is to me.
I like it. I like it. When you look at your career, first of all, explain to the people who are watching what do you do and your business, because I find it very unique and it's cool. And I'm a sweets person, so I was instantly, kind of attracted to what you were doing. So explain to the people what you do, and then I'll follow up with the next question.
Sure. So my company is Maya's Brigadeiro Brazilian Sweets. We make traditional Brazilian desserts with LA style. They are really unique in their textures. I say they're kind of like a cross between a caramel and a truffle. And they're the desserts that you eat in Brazil whenever you celebrate. So yeah, I started a company making the desserts that I grew up in, that I feel very culturally connected to my family and my past. And yeah, we're based here in Los Angeles and going 7.5 years strong.
7.5 years. Congratulations on that. When do you feel was a turning point in your career in terms of you found out this is what you want to do and you are all in?
Um, so like I told you before, I was dancing professionally, and my dream was to tour and to dance. And I had started the business kind of as like a side project. And then I was like in India performing, kind of like living out my biggest dreams, like everything I wanted to do. And all I could think about was like getting home and working on my recipes and getting my website up and working on the business. And I was like, oh, this is real. Like, I mean, I had one trajectory kind of for my whole life. And then this business idea came up for me. And when I was fulfilling my dream at its highest potential and realized I was thinking about something else, that was kind of my turning point for me.
All right. Yeah. How were you able to then kind of go full time and still maintain and continue for 7.5 years? Because that's a long time for a business to be in business and be successful. How were you able to kind of consistently stay with it?
Well, I think I'm consistently able to stay with it because I feel very passionate about it. Because it's definitely not been like a smooth, trajectory the whole time. So I definitely think that's really important because when times get really tough, you have to remember why you're doing it, and that kind of pushes you through. But yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of patience. I've learned to really learn along the way and make changes when I need to make changes. And I mean, it's really simple, but like customer service, I think is a big reason why my business has been as successful as it can. Like, if you look at reviews and everything, a lot of it's about the candy, but most of it is about the experience. And I think the experience that people have with you as a company and as a person, I think is really going to help anyone's longevity. I think I have a nice connection with the community of people that support my business.
Great, great. Shout out to Keith Breezy, who's watching, Cole Gamer. Thank you all for joining us. Why do you love what you do?
I love what I do because I get to work with candy all day. So that's definitely a plus. It's always good to have like a sugar bump next to you whenever you need it. But mostly I love what I do because I feel like my Brazilianness is a part of me that's been very personal my whole life. And now I get to actually share it with like my greater community in the city that I love. I love Los Angeles. So yeah, I love that. I love that I get to give a little piece of my family and my history to the community that also raised me here in Los Angeles.
And speaking of Brazil, if you were going to pick one city in Brazil that best exemplifies who Maya is, what city comes to mind?
Well, it would be Curitiba because that's where I'm from.
Curitiba, yes, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people have never heard of it. It's in the south. It's a very green city, but yeah, that would definitely be who exemplifies me because that's my greatest experience in Brazil is definitely being in Curitiba.
Yeah. So in Curitiba for the 2014 World Cup, I was there. We stayed there for 3 days, 2 nights. So I've been to your place. It was amazing. That was my first city I ever visited in Brazil. So,
really?
I have a deep affinity for Brazil.
We're one of a few, Amani. I don't know many people that have been to Curitiba. That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. What is something that scares you?
Oh, failure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm, you put your everything into your baby and your dreams, and there's always the potential that it's not going to work out, and that's very scary for sure.
And how do you work your way through that so that it doesn't stop you from continuing to move forward?
I mean, I really think one day at a time. Like, if that's how I'm dealing with coronavirus too, right?
Right.
If I start thinking about the potential of everything that could happen, I think I'll go a little crazy. So it's more like, okay, what's happening today? Are we healthy? Are we strong? What's working? What's not working? What can I adjust to make things work? And then we'll move on tomorrow for tomorrow. I think that's helping in all assets of my life, not just my business.
I agree 100%. Shout out to Holly, who's joining us. Welcome to the interview, Holly. Now, your industry in terms of the dessert space is extremely crowded. How do you rise above all the noise and distinguish yourself from the competition?
Yeah, I think that we have a really unique product and a unique story. So that definitely differentiates me from the rest of the dessert business. So that rises me above. And then on the flip side of that, it's challenging because I have a dessert people have never heard of. So educating the public what we do and getting it in the mouths of people can be challenging because they're not looking for it. You have to push it on them.
Right, right.
But once you do, like, I feel like we have an upper hand because people are always so blown away by the uniqueness of it and that they're trying something different. And then it's so, uncommon and outside of the normal.
Right. Define and explain what that dessert is so everyone who's watching and listening knows.
Yeah, so Brigadeiro is the name of it. Brigadeiro, if you want to put some Portuguese twang on it. And it's a Brazilian dessert that we always eat at celebrations. So like birthday parties and weddings. They're kind of look like little truffles, but they're smooth like caramel. So they're much more of like a milk caramelly base, but they have rich flavors like truffles, like coffee, dark chocolate, coconut, all these different flavors.
All right, nice. Hello, Katrina. Thanks for joining us. How has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours?
Do I have a favorite failure? I have a good story.
All right, we love stories. Talk to us. We love
call
stories.
it a favorite because I didn't enjoy it at all.
All right, talk to us.
But it was a failure. I had a huge wedding, it was a celebrity wedding. It was, like a very big order. It was a big deal for us. I was really excited about it, really on top of it. I mean, like when I planned everything, got extra help, did all this stuff. I had it in my calendar. And then on a Saturday at 3:00, I got a call and they were like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, where am I? The wedding's tomorrow, right?"
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Like all this crazy planning, like booked extra kitchen space time, everything. And I had just written the date on the wrong day. And I think my heart literally was on the other side of the room. I called everyone, completely panicked, got whatever we could, ran over there, set up what we could. There was stuff that was missing. It was not a representation of my business. It was not what I wanted to put out there. And it was really mortifying. I ended up refunding. They didn't ask for the money back, but I ended up refunding it anyways because I just felt so horrible. So yeah, I felt like I felt like a huge failure at that moment. But I mean, believe you me, I triple check everything I write down in my calendar.
Yes.
All the time. Sometimes you just have these weird flukes, like your brain goes black. I don't know.
Yeah. So lesson learned. Great story there. Yeah. Hello to Marcia, who's joining us. Welcome to the podcast interview, Marcia. You've been written up in many publications. You've gotten a lot of awards and just a lot of press. On the flip side, how do you handle your critics, your haters, as we call them? How do you handle your critics?
I feel fortunate. I don't feel like I have too many critics, but that might be because I'm not huge yet. They say that's when you've really made it, is when you have a group of haters.
Yes.
But of course, there's customers who aren't happy or who don't like the product, and I just have to recognize, it's not for everybody. There are things that I don't like for no particular reason. I just don't, and more power to those people to keep going because there's going to be people that it's their thing. So yeah, you can't please everybody.
You cannot please everyone. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Tell us about the darkest time in your life, how you got through that, and what did you learn from that situation?
Yeah. This is very, very long time ago. When I was graduating high school, I went to an arts conservatory high school, and my dream was to go to Fordham University in New York, had the Alvin Ailey program. And I was like, I had gone to the summer program every year. It was like my number one dream. And they required you to turn in, your resume and photos of you in different ballet positions and whatever. And I was never a very thin dancer, but I was in shape. I was 18, dancing all the time. And they turned out they wouldn't even let me audition based on on what I turned in.
Really?
And then no one told me till the morning of because they knew it would crush me. And then I freaked out and went to the audition anyways, and they wouldn't let me in the room. And I just begged, like, please let me try. You know, you don't have to let me into the school, but at least give me the opportunity to audition, to, you know, show you what I got, and then, you know, make your choice. And they did not let me in. And it was probably the most crushing moment of my life, at least to that point, because I feel like everything that I ever wanted, and then I wasn't even granted the opportunity to try. And then from that point on, I really kind of was like, well, that's it. I'm done. Like, I'm done dancing, because that's the only thing I wanted, and I can't even try for it. But then I ended up going to UCLA, and I was in the World Arts and Cultures dance program. Kind of went in like, all right, I'm just gonna like get my way into UCLA this way, and then I'm gonna do something else. And I met an amazing community of people that really believed in the diversity of the body and diversity of culture and hierarchy of the arts and what's important, what's not important. And yeah, I really learned from that dark point, like, you can be so close-minded about what it is that you think you want, and what's so important. And then really there's like this whole other world probably just to the left of you didn't even realize would be a path. And I ended up becoming a professional dancer, I think, because I went to that department. And if I would have gone to Fordham with that kind of attitude, I probably would have stopped dancing in hindsight when I think about it. Yeah.
So this experience helped you actually maintain or develop some resilience to keep dancing despite, you know, initially not getting what you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it took a while to get there, but
it always does. Eventually. It always does. So a couple of questions from the audience. First of all, Holly wants to know, tell people what your company name is, and tell them what your website is also, so they can follow and kind of learn more about you. Go ahead.
Holly, my company's name, brace yourself, is Maya's Brigadeiro Brazilian Sweets. But if you're looking for the website, BrazilianSweets.com makes it a little easier. And that's sweets with an S. And
yes. And then her Instagram is on the ticker, so you can check her out there. Hello to Purplish and Songbird who are tuning in. Thank you all for joining the interview. I love my Twitch family. They support all out. Hype girls in the house. Thank you all. Who has been the most influential person for you growing up?
I have a lot of people who are very influential. My parents, obviously, but I had a dance teacher in middle school, Miss Leah Bayless. Shout out to Miss Leah Bayless. And she's always been kind of my mentor, just like a very strong, resilient woman who has really made her way up as an artist, and then also as an educator, kind of defeated all odds, and really like took me under her wing, and I think believed in me, and has always kind of looked out for me and supported me. And so definitely her. And all my dance mentors. I don't know. I think dancers are a special breed of people.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're all pretty strong and badass. So
agreed, 100%. What do you find easy to do that your friends find hard to do? Besides bake this delicious and make this delicious dish. Besides that.
I think I have I'm not to like toot my own horn, but I think I have a good sense of reading people and adjusting my temperament to the people that I'm around. I think that probably comes from teaching. You know, I'm around a lot of different personalities, and I find that comes useful. That's been useful in a lot of areas, is just really kind of being able to understand who you're talking to, and then meeting them at the level that they're going to feel comfortable.
Right. You mentioned teaching. How has teaching, because you're an adjunct professor at a college, how has that teaching helped you personally and professionally?
I think teaching has informed a huge part of who I am and has helped me personally and professionally. I've taught all grades, like pre-K through college. I mean, like I said, I think learning a bunch of different personalities and working with people from all different backgrounds, socioeconomic, religious, cultural. I feel like at least teaching in Los Angeles, I've really been able to capture a lot of the various culture identities that are happening, and then as a professional, especially in my business, feeling like I really want to make sure that I'm reaching out to all of those people and being as inclusive as possible. I think that it doesn't seem like it'd be a big ideal for a business, but for me, like if I look at the demographics of who's shopping for me, it's incredibly diverse. And I think that's because that's a priority of mine. Like I want to have a product that feels like it, even though it's Brazilian, that it's connected to everybody. And I think teaching has really allowed me to expand my circle in lots of ways.
Yeah, I agree completely. As you know, the nickname in our Twitch world is they call me the professor. So I agree. Teaching just expands you in so many ways that are unexpected. So I agree. Yeah. What would you like to be better at?
I would like to be better at numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I own a business and I came as a creative professional. So there's there's so much data analytics, bookkeeping, all that stuff that I begrudgingly have to do, and I do it. But it's definitely not my nature. It's not what I love. And I would love to be better at it.
Exactly. Marcia says she's on the website and the Brazilian burst looks so yummy. So there you go.
To try it. If you put in sunshine, you get a 20% discount.
There you go. Put the code in sunshine and try it. Thank you. When you were here in LA when you were 21, correct? You were here local in LA, UCLA, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to go back and we're going to talk to 21-year-old Maya and give her advice based on what you know now. What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
I would definitely say be open and not so stubborn. I think my 21-year-old self was really like hard-headed, like this is what I'm going to do. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to work really hard to get it, which I think got me very far. But I think what I've learned is life changes, moments change, your interests change, what the world gives and doesn't give you changes. So I would just tell myself to be okay with having some more flexibility in my desires.
Wow. That's heavy. Nice. Thank you for sharing. We have a question from the audience. If you have a question, audience, please put it in the comments. We will ask it. So Brownie T, hello. Thank you for joining the stream, by the way. She wants to know, what are your plans for your business in the future? Great question.
Yeah, it is a great question. It's interesting. Before the shutdown, my focus was going to be events. like at the beginning of the year, like I had created a whole plan. So I was like, I think the event space is really where, at least for desserts, you get, most volume and bulk. And that's the future of my business. And well,
there are no events going on right now.
Well, yeah. So like I said, you got to be flexible. So right now, my focus and future, I'm learning that you can't plan too far. You got to be ready for whatever. But right now, my future goals are to really boost my online sales and my online business and really kind of direct as much traffic as I can to my website. And then also doing a little bit more wholesale to coffee shops, places that are still running.
Right. How have you been able to shift, and I hate this word, but I'm going to have to say it anyways, and pivot during COVID to still maintain a thriving business?
Yeah. So we had to do a lot of shifting. Obviously, I was doing a lot of corporate and a lot of events, and all that got canceled. So I've kind of really reached out to our clients and have kind of looked at my sweets as a comfort during these times, and having it be something that they can send someone as a gift because they can't be close anymore. So send someone something sweet to let them know that you're thinking about them, or for your own comfort. So I've kind of really shifted it more as a nice hug.
Yeah, there you go.
Rather than a huge luxurious event thing. And yeah, I mean, I've had to cut down on my kitchen time. I had to get rid of storage. if you look behind this camera, there are boxes all over my apartment.
Yeah,
there were cutbacks. I had to let go of some of my employees temporarily that I was able to finally bring back on.
Right.
Yeah, but there was a lot of moving things around to be able to still function. Because if I was operating at the capacity that I was operating before the shutdown, we would have been out of business in a couple weeks. So.
Okay, so props to you for being flexible and changing things very quickly, because we still want you to be around. So great job to you.
Thank you.
What is the one lesson in life that took you the longest to learn?
I think I'm still learning it, but that my path is my own and not to compare myself to other people's paths. I think it's so easy to, even like, your business will look at other companies and be like, why are they doing this and why are they doing that? And then I'll hear someone tell me, they're asking me for advice on my business, where here I am, like looking out at everybody else. You just got to realize, like, you're doing your thing, and you can use other people for inspiration, but you're never going to be somebody else. And so you got to really just be okay with your own path.
So I like that you mentioned that, because the comparison trap is very difficult, especially for entrepreneurs. I do my best not to compare myself to other DJs, because that's just, we all have our different flavor. If you were going to meet someone and they were struggling with the comparison trap, what advice would you give to them to help them get over that?
The advice would be like just to kind of reframe the way you're looking at it. Like if you're comparing yourself, maybe look at what it is that you admire in this other company, and then implement it for yourself, and then go back to what it is your core values are, and make sure that that works in your trajectory, and that you're always just comparing yourself to yourself. Are you one-upping how you're doing tomorrow than better than yesterday? Because yes, you should be challenging yourself constantly. That's a natural and I think healthy way to move about running a business or anything in life, is to constantly try to improve yourself. But not to compare with someone else. If anything, take that negative feeling and be like, okay, why do I feel this way? It's because I admire this thing that these people are doing. So what can I learn from that and implement it in a way that works for me?
Excellent advice. I agree. I'm going to continue to practice that. We have another question from the audience. Continue to send in questions, everyone. We love this. So Tawana, thank you very much for joining the stream. We appreciate it. What flavors would you recommend for first-time consumers?
Oh, we have a premium assortment, and that I think has our 6 like top flavors. It kind of gives you like the range of like the lightest to the darkest flavor. So I would recommend our premium assortment. Chocolate, pistachio, sweet milk, coconut, coffee, classic. You got a little bit of everything.
Love that. Next question. Thank you, Cole Gamer, for joining. Shout out to Miss Her for introducing you to me. So thanks to Miss Her as well. Any treats for lactose issue folks, people who have lactose issues?
I wish I did. It's something I've been working on, a vegan Brigadeiro. It's something I have a little bit of a struggle with, because I feel like if I took the milk out, then it wouldn't be the traditional dessert. It would be something else. And it's important to me that I'm giving something that is authentically the Brazilian dessert that I want to share. But I'm working on it. Check back in like a year. I've been trying to make as good of a vegan, non-dairy version of it that emulates the actual thing. But I haven't got there yet, and I'm not going to put out something that isn't very good.
We appreciate that. So we'll continue to follow up with you. Marcia, the code was Sunshine. So thanks for that. Great questions, everyone. Keep those questions coming. My next question is, every great person has a sentence. What is your sentence? For example, my sentence is, I love to help people unlock their creativity by teaching them how to DJ. What is your sentence?
Oh, I didn't prepare for this one well enough.
We'll help you along. Don't worry. We'll help you along.
My sentence? That's so hard. What is my sentence? I try to make the world a little sweeter with some sugar, music, and dance, I guess.
There you go. Boom. We can drop the mic there. There you go. Well done. Well done. What does the statement, "Don't be a victim," mean to you?
Wow. My mom has said that to me my entire life. Don't be a victim.
We know. Our research department knows.
Um, don't, don't be a victim. Yeah, don't lay aside to the things that are happening to you. You know, you always have control. You have a way to address the hardships and the things that come into your life. So, you know, self-pity, you know, self-care is one thing, and taking care of your body is one thing, but not feeling like the world is attacking you, that you have agency and you have a way to change things. If something's not working your way, then you need to look at it, analyze it, and see what you can do to make positive movement out of that space where you're feeling victimized.
Great answer. I understand that you have a goal of collaborating with Cool House. Has that happened yet? I know that now where we're going through this kind of shutdown, it hasn't happened yet. What's the update or the status on that?
Where did you hear that? Where did you find that?
We've done some research now. We pride ourselves on doing a little research here. So yes.
No, we haven't done a collaboration. I actually haven't been in touch with them in a while. I should. That's something I was talking about in the very beginning. Yeah, I would love for that to happen one day. If you guys don't know Cool House Ice Cream, it's owned by two married women. They started the company on their own, and it's all based on architecture. The one of the founders was an architect, so all the ice creams are like named after famous architects, and they just have a really cool vibe. And I feel like they're really smart and really great at what they do. And I would love to do any kind of collaboration with them. They're a company I would be really proud to be associated with.
Well, we're going to put it out there. We're going to tag them when we share the interview as well. So, you know, we're going to help you to make that happen. I love Cool House because I love ice cream. I can only have ice cream maybe once a month because of my tummy, but I still love it and I'm a fan. So we're going to help you make that happen.
Theirs is definitely worth it. It's delicious.
For sure. What is one new habit that you've added to your daily routine in the past year or so that has been most beneficial?
Yeah, I started meditating. Is that the 2020 thing to say that everybody says?
It's pretty popular, but tell us your process.
But whatever, if I am, then I'll take it. Yeah, I started meditating probably 2 years ago every morning. I do 10 minutes of yoga. It really makes a big difference. I feel like my brain is like constantly going haywire. So to kind of like stop, and I'm the kind of person that wakes up in the morning like already trying to think about all the million things, and it feels a little bit scattered. So stopping, breathing, taking a moment to kind of recenter and then approach the rest of the day has really changed the way that I function. I feel like I'm a lot calmer and more stable.
If there was one or two tips for people who are just starting to meditate or are a little bit wary of getting started, how would you kind of give them advice in terms of what should they do to get started?
Yeah, I was wary and I was kind of like, like I'm not into this hippie, whatever. But I advise maybe to do what I did, which is I went onto YouTube and I did like what's it called? Guided meditations.
Yes.
So it wasn't so much like, okay, Maya, like stop thinking or, you know, be there silently. I would kind of look up like, okay, today I feel like I need energy. So I would like meditation for energy or meditation for calmness or whatever. And then just sitting there and listening. I feel like that was a really good entry point for me before I started doing a little bit more of what I do now, which is a lot more silent. Yeah, that's the tip I would give.
Love it. We're really big readers here on the Amani Experience podcast. If there was 1, 2, or 3 books you feel people should stop what they're doing right now and start to read them immediately, what books come to mind?
Yeah, you know, I saw this question and I was like, I feel so terrible that I don't have a book that like popped straight into my mind. I do read, I feel like I read a lot more for pleasure. So I read like comics biographies. And
those work too. Those are books too.
but it's not a book, but I was like, oh, you know, what's really helped me, I think, throughout my whole business journey has been the podcast, How I Built This.
Oh, yeah, Sky Raz.
Sky Raz, yeah. There's something, if you're interested in starting anything, I love listening to the variety of entrepreneurs and the variety of their stories and how, like we're talking about, like the you're on your own path. It's so informative to just hear like, okay, these people are all extremely successful and they all got there in completely different ways and they have completely different personalities. So I feel like I learn a lot from their stories, and I also feel like it's really helpful to kind of be like, okay, that's their thing, and now I got to do my thing. So I really recommend How I Built This.
Good. We will roll with that.
Yeah.
What has been the best advice that you've ever received?
Don't be a victim.
All right. Yes, we can reiterate that point. Yeah. Moms, right?
Moms, don't be a victim. I think that's been great advice. Even when I was teaching little kids and they would go haywire and I'd be like, oh God, why is this happening to me? Like, there's a reason they're out of control. Like, you got to make a choice. Change it.
Good. All right. So are you a sports fan at all?
I used to be an NBA fan, like a Laker fan during the whole Phil Jackson era. And then I kind of dipped off. Okay. And then now I watch, I have World Cup, obviously. I'm a big Brazil soccer fan.
So I forget, what's the name of the big stadium that's in Curitiba?
Curitibano.
Okay. We're going to have you walking out on the stadium there. You're walking out to the field. They're introducing Maya is coming to the field. What song is playing as you walk out?
Oh, Outstanding by the Gap Band.
Oh, yes. Music to my ears. Yes, we will drag that into the edit. Outstanding. That's lovely. I want to play that right now.
That's the song I get ready to whenever I'm like not in the mood to go out. I'm like, okay. So I'll like put it on. Be like, okay.
Okay, we won't start singing, but yes, love it. Okay, so we have your Instagram going there. How else can people find you on social media, and where do you spend most of your time? What social media platform?
Instagram is definitely where you'll find me the most. All that kind of shoots out to Facebook and to Twitter. My website. I do have a LinkedIn profile. I'm not as active as I should be. It's under my name, Maya Zellman. Yeah, I mean, really, if you go to my website and subscribe to my newsletter, I would love it if you subscribe, because we're always talking about new things. I give out music playlists, like Brazilian music playlists, and some like other fun stuff. We don't email more than twice a month. Try to be really respectful of that. That's a great way to stay in touch, is to subscribe.
Email newsletter. Perfect. We will subscribe when we get off here. I'm a big fan of Brazil, baile funk as well. Trying to add that into more of the music we do.
I love baile funk.
Baile funk is hot. I love it.
It's so cheesy and amazing, and it's got these really like simple 90s bass beats that I really.
Yes, it does. My final question for you before we kind of sign off is, what are the 5 things that you want to be known for?
I would like to be known for my kindness. I would like to be known as a giver. I'd like to be known as successful. I would like to be known as someone that's changed people's lives in a positive way. And I'd like to be known as a good friend, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, well done. Well, first of all, thank you very much for taking time to appear on the show. I love your business. I love what you've done and how you continue to thrive even during the pandemic. So keep going. I can't wait to meet you in person once we kind of get this shutdown lifted and taste some of the desserts in front of you, so I can tell you which ones I like, which ones I don't like. But in the interim, I'm going to place my order so I can get it delivered or go pick it up. And yeah, just thank you. We let our guests leave us with any last minute words of wisdom or advice. So I'll say thank you again and allow you to take us home. Also, for anyone who's tuning in, the 30-day challenge started today, where I'm going to live stream 30 straight days in a row. This is the first one. Tonight, I'll be back on 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific for some DJing. So, take and tune into that. And now to you, Maya, you can take us home.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun. Look forward to meeting you too. My advice is, there's something that you love and you feel passionate about, put your all in it and give it a shot. You never know what comes from that.
Great. Thank you very much. Hold on real quick. We'll see you all soon. Take care and stay safe.